So I'm here with Patrick Brown, Member of Parliament for Barrie and leadership candidate for the Ontario Progressive Conservative Party. Welcome, Patrick.
It's great to be on your show.
Great. Now, why are you running to become leader of the party?
I'm tired of seeing our party blow elections that they should have won. I'm tired of seeing our party so top down that they're disconnected. The policy is disconnected. Whether it's 100,000 job cuts or faith-based funding, Ontario needs change. Ontario needs hope. Ontario needs a Conservative Party that can be a voice for opportunity, for jobs, for creating business conditions which we can succeed. But we've allowed the establishment of our party to run it into the ground. And I want a clean house. I want to change the culture of our party and get it right so that we can get it right for Ontario.
Now, is it just about changing the culture, or what has to change within the party to be more responsive to what you've just described?
You know, right now we've got an establishment in the party. There was 32 people on the policy platform committee that built policies without consulting the membership, without consulting a good amount of members of caucus, without consulting the candidates. And Ontario really wanted change. Ontario was tired of the waste, tired of the scandals, tired of the hydro policy and the high hydro rates. They were tired of the proposed pension scheme. They wanted change. Ontario wanted change, and most polls suggested that. But they looked at the NDP. They didn't find it. They looked at our party, and they didn't find it either. Our party became disconnected.
Now, does that mean that you have to change the constitution of the party to make the change?
There's a number of things we need to do. You know, we're at a 50-year low in membership. We're not connected, whether it's with young people, with cultural communities, with professional associations. I want to build a membership that's vibrant again. I want to build a membership like we had 15 years ago when we had 100,000 members, or like we do today in the federal party just in the province of Ontario alone. I want to build a membership that is connected to every community in Ontario so that we give voice to the membership, that we give voice to the grassroots. And I think there are ideas within our grassroots that would catch fire in Ontario if we actually listen to our teammates, actually listen to our membership.
Now, southwestern Ontario, where we happen to be right now, has been really hit hard over the past number of years with job losses, energy prices. How would you change it if you became leader of the party and therefore premier?
Well, I'll tell you about the general philosophy I believe in. I believe we need to create the conditions in which businesses can succeed. You know, I look at Ontario today. I think that the two fundamentals you need in a province for success are you need to have transportation corridors where you can get product to marketplace quickly, and you also need cheap power. In Ontario today, we have neither. We've got gridlock in our urban hubs. We have the most expensive power in North America, and it's no coincidence that we're losing manufacturing jobs, 300,000 under the watch of this government.
How do we change the energy, though? How do we go forward?
Well, for one thing, this government viewed their recent re-election as a vindication of their flawed energy policies. You know, they just issued in late 2014 an RFP for another $1 billion in these windmills. You know, I'd put a moratorium on building new supply when our demand does not equal supply. Let me just give you an example of how it's costing jobs. I was touring a greenhouse farm in Leamington. They told me they were going to expand, but they're doing it in Michigan. And I asked them why, and they said 5 cents a kilowatt in Michigan and 14 cents in Leamington. You know, those are good jobs. Those are jobs that we're not going to get provincial income tax on because we have the conditions in which a business, a Canadian-owned business, no longer saw a viable market plan. You know, I hear about businesses in border areas where they're getting letters, whether it's from Michigan or New York saying, come across the border, whether it's Quebec or Manitoba. We are losing jobs because we have the conditions that are suffocating for business. I want to see a PC party that champions an atmosphere in which businesses can succeed. And that means reducing red tape. That means creating transportation corridors that are effective. And that means getting the power situation under control.
Do we need to change the way the government functions right now? Right now, the province is obviously running a deficit. Not a lot of people believe that we're on track to actually balance it, as the government is saying. Does something have to change to get us back to it?
Well, I certainly agree with you that the financial forecasts are flawed, and I do think we're going to be in a structural deficit for a number of years to come if the current approach continues. When you bleed jobs, you are bleeding revenue. If we're going to fix our financial model in Ontario, we need to create an atmosphere in which we have jobs, we have economic growth that is significant. I think their forecasts are off because we're going to continue to bleed to other provinces, to other jurisdictions. I think we also have challenges in the school system, challenges in the healthcare system that make our finances strained. I'll give you an example. We have an education system that is tailored towards the jobs that existed 15 years ago, 20 years ago, not for the jobs that exist today and tomorrow. You know, I look at the skilled trades. I was up at Cambrian College in Sudbury speaking to the power line workers there. 24 graduates last year, 300 job offers. We have a skills mismatch in Ontario.
So how does that change?
Well, I'll give you an example. We graduated 9,000 teachers last year for 5,000 new teaching jobs. We're graduating people for jobs that don't exist. You know, I look at some of the countries that have rich manufacturing sectors, Germany, for example, and they actually stream education. They actually have an education system that takes into consideration employment opportunities, market conditions. You know, I would actually get guidance counselors engaged in the school system telling kids what the job prospects are. If you go into this profession, you got this % of a chance of a job. If you go into this profession, you got this % chance of a job. You know, there's actually some pilot projects in Windsor, not too far away, where they're actually tailoring the school system towards skilled trades and working with local companies. You know, those are the type of pilot projects I think we should be looking at province-wide. How do we get kids excited about the skilled trades? How do we get kids excited about the jobs that exist today?
That's all the time we have. Where can viewers get more information about your plan or about your leadership campaign?
My plan is available at votepatrickbrown.ca or on Twitter at Brownberry, and always pleased to engage with an email, a phone call, or online.
Great, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.